Quonset Hut. Originally developed for the U.S. military during World War II, the Quonset Hut was designed with one purpose in mind: get usable covered space up fast, anywhere in the world, with as little specialized labor as possible. The name comes from Quonset Point, Rhode Island, where the first prototypes were constructed and tested in 1941. Within months, the design was being mass-produced and shipped to military bases across the Pacific, Europe, and North Africa. Soldiers assembled them without heavy equipment or advanced construction skills, and the buildings held up under conditions that would have damaged less efficient structures. The genius of the design is its simplicity. A half-cylinder of corrugated steel arches continuously from ground level up to the peak and back down the other side, creating a roof and walls in a single unified form. There are no corners to reinforce, no separate wall panels to align, and no complex joinery. The arch itself distributes weight and load with remarkable efficiency. After the war ended, surplus Quonset huts flooded the civilian market at low prices, and American farmers, ranchers, and small business owners snapped them up. They became a fixture on working land across the country throughout the second half of the 20th century. The design never disappeared because it never stopped making sense for certain applications. Today, modern manufacturers sell updated versions as prefabricated steel kits that can be ordered online, delivered by freight truck, and assembled by a small crew in a few days. They are used as hay storage, equipment shelters, aircraft hangars, workshops, commercial warehouses, and occasionally as uniquely styled residences. The steel construction resists fire, pests, and rot in ways that wood simply cannot. Maintenance demands are low once the building is properly sealed and anchored. Snow loads and wind forces are handled well by the arch geometry. For anyone who needs covered square footage quickly and affordably, a Quonset hut remains one of the most cost-effective structures available anywhere on the market. Barndominium. The word is a blend of barn and condominium, and while the name has a playful quality to it, the concept behind it is entirely serious and practical. A barndominium is a metal-framed building that integrates a fully finished living space with an attached utility area, which might be a large garage, a working shop, agricultural storage, or any combination of functional spaces. The style has its roots in rural Texas, where landowners in the 1980s and 1990s began asking builders for homes that could withstand harsh weather, serve working land, and cost less than a conventional stick-built house. The idea spread steadily through the South and Midwest before social media and home design television brought it to national attention in the 2010s. Today, barndominiums are built in nearly every state and are popular with a wide range of people, from farmers and ranchers who genuinely need the utility space to suburban transplants who simply love the aesthetic of high ceilings, exposed steel beams, and wide open floor plans. Unlike a Quonset hut, a barndominium has straight vertical walls and a conventional pitched roof, which means it reads as a house to most people who look at it. The exterior can be clad in metal panels, wood, board and batten siding, or a combination of materials, and the appearance can range from purely industrial to warmly rustic depending on the owner's choices. On the inside, the wide-span steel frame eliminates the need for load-bearing interior walls, creating enormous flexibility in how the space is divided and used. Full kitchens, multiple bathrooms, lofted bedrooms, mudrooms, and expansive living areas are all standard features in well-planned barndominiums. The building envelope is designed from the start to be insulated, drywalled, and finished to residential standards, which makes the path from shell to move-in ready considerably more predictable than it would be with a Quonset conversion. Construction timelines are generally shorter than traditional home builds, and total costs typically fall below those of comparable stick-built homes, though the margin varies by region, builder, and finish level. Cost comparison. When evaluating these two structures purely on the basis of price, the answer depends entirely on what the building is intended to do. For raw, unfinished utility space, Quonset huts are almost impossible to beat on cost per square foot. A basic steel arch kit can be purchased, delivered, and erected for a fraction of what even the most modest barndominium shell would cost. That price advantage is real and meaningful for buyers who need covered agricultural storage, a simple workshop, or a place to park equipment out of the weather. However, the moment a Quonset hut is expected to function as a living space, the economics shift in ways that are not always obvious up front. The curved walls require custom framing solutions to create flat interior surfaces. Standard insulation bats do not conform to the arch, so spray foam or specialty systems are often needed, adding significant cost. Windows and doors must be framed into the curved steel in ways that require experienced installers. Plumbing, electrical, and HVAC systems all need to be adapted to a form that was not designed with residential use in mind. By the time a Quonset hut is finished to a livable standard, the total investment can approach or even exceed the cost of a well-built barndominium. A barndominium starts higher on the price scale, but is engineered to be finished as a residence, so there are fewer surprises along the way. For someone whose honest goal is a comfortable, functional home with attached utility space, the barndominium typically delivers better total value when every dollar from foundation to final coat of paint is accounted for. Interior livability and design flexibility. Few categories reveal the difference between these two structures more clearly than the experience of actually living inside them. A Quonset hut's interior is defined by its curved geometry, and that curve affects almost every decision a resident makes. Walls cannot be mounted with standard shelving at standard heights throughout the space. Furniture placement requires careful thought because usable headroom tapers toward the sides of the building. Rooms can be divided, but the sloping ceiling overhead means that edge spaces feel compressed even when the square footage on the floor plan looks generous. Some people genuinely love this quality and lean into it, creating interior designs that celebrate the arch rather than fighting it. Curved walls can create a warm, cocoon-like atmosphere in the right hands. But for the majority of people who want a home that functions like a home, the Quonset's geometry is a persistent constraint rather than a feature. A barndominium does not present these challenges. Its vertical walls and standard ceiling heights allow for room layout, furniture arrangement, cabinetry, and storage solutions that behave exactly as they would in any other house. The absence of interior load-bearing walls means that floor plans can be open and dramatic, with kitchen, dining, and living areas flowing together under high ceilings and exposed steel trusses. Lofted sleeping areas accessible by open staircases are a popular design choice that takes advantage of the building's height without adding to the footprint. For full-time residential use, the barndominium provides an environment that feels familiar and comfortable from the first day of occupancy. Durability and long-term performance. Both structures share the core advantage of steel construction, which places them ahead of traditional wood-framed buildings in several important categories. Steel does not rot, does not attract termites or carpenter ants, and does not contribute to the spread of fire the way wood framing can. Both structures, when properly maintained, can last for many decades. The Quonset hut's arch is geometrically efficient at handling compressive loads, which is why the design performs well under heavy snow accumulation and high wind events without requiring additional structural reinforcement. The continuous curve leaves no weak points at the roof-to-wall junction, which is one of the most vulnerable areas of a conventional building. Barndominiums with steep roof pitches also manage snow and rain runoff effectively, and their vertical walls make it easier to install insulation systems that meet modern building energy codes. In regions prone to tornadoes or severe thunderstorms, both structures have earned reputations for resilience, though neither is entirely immune to the most extreme wind events. Coastal environments require extra attention to corrosion protection for both building types, as salt air accelerates the oxidation of steel. Proper surface coatings, regular inspection of fasteners and seams, and prompt attention to any signs of rust will extend the lifespan of either structure significantly. Neither requires the kind of ongoing wood rot repairs, pest treatment cycles, or exterior painting that a traditional home demands. Permitting, zoning, and financing. These practical realities are often overlooked during the excitement of planning a new build, but they can determine whether a project moves forward at all. Barndominiums occupy a more comfortable space in the world of building codes and residential lending, because they closely resemble conventional houses in both form and function. Most local building departments have existing pathways for permitting them as residential structures, and mortgage lenders have become increasingly familiar with them as the style has grown in popularity. Appraisers in rural markets often have comparable sales data available, which helps establish market value for financing purposes. Quonset huts have historically been permitted as agricultural or commercial structures, and the process of converting one into a legal residential dwelling can involve additional documentation, inspections, and in some jurisdictions, outright resistance from planning departments that simply do not have a category for it. Rural and agricultural zoning tends to be more forgiving than suburban or semi-rural areas with homeowners association rules, where either structure might face restrictions on materials, appearance, or use. Anyone seriously considering either build should consult with their local building and zoning office before purchasing land or ordering materials. A conversation that takes an hour can prevent months of delay and thousands of dollars in wasted planning costs. Resale value and market appeal. A building's long-term value is shaped not just by how well it is built, but by how many people would want to buy it. Barndominiums have developed genuine mainstream appeal over the past decade, driven in part by television programs, home design publications, and social media communities that celebrate the style. A well-finished barndominium on a good piece of rural land can attract competitive offers from a broad pool of buyers who are specifically seeking that kind of property. The market for them is real and growing. Quonset huts, even beautifully finished ones, appeal to a narrower audience. Their industrial appearance and unconventional interior geometry are genuinely loved by some buyers but actively avoided by others, and that limits the competitive pressure that drives price upward at the time of sale. For someone building a home they intend to sell within 10 or 15 years, that difference in marketability is worth serious consideration. For someone building a forever home on land they never plan to leave, resale dynamics matter much less, and the decision can rest more comfortably on personal preference, intended use, and budget.